Good afternoon to all of you. First, I will like to thank TTC Jodhpur for inviting me for giving lecture on this audience. And I've been informed that the audience or the teachers that present here belongs to the different disciplines, not only from the environment, but they belong to the electrical, mechanical, computer science, and other things. So, this air pollution and challenges, I include the things that every aspect that makes it the interdisciplinary. And what are the challenges? Because if you want to do the research in this particular air pollution field, a faculty member who belongs to the electronics, he can do the research in the environment or in the air pollution field. Either he belongs to the biological science, he can do the research in this field. He belongs to the meteorological science, he can do the research in this field. He belongs to the physics, he can do the research in the field. He belongs to the chemistry, he can do the research in this field. Or he belongs to the atmospheric science. So there are a number of disciplines that are involved and in making this air pollution as a very complex phenomenon or interdisciplinary subject. So before I proceed, first I would like to give the definition of the pollution. What is pollution? How we call, then we will see about the air pollution. So we all talk about the pollution. In day-to-day life, even from the class 4th or 5th, there is a definition of pollution. And the definition of the pollution that varies as we go in. A normal definition and a scientific definition. So if pollution means here, it's a contamination of anything in either it is the substance which is present in the atmosphere, in the water, or in the system, in the whole earth system. And when the desired limit that crosses a particular of the particular substance, that limit, then we call it the pollution, and it adversely affecting the human being, the plant life, the animal life, or the ecological system, or the atmosphere itself. Then we come to the air pollution, how it is defined. So it is the presence of any substance in the outdoor environment or in the indoor environment for such concentration and for such duration which is injurious or tends to be injurious to the human life, to the plant life, to the animal, or to the ecology, or to the property. So this is the broad definition which is given. It is a broad definition of the air pollution. It means it is the presence of substance. Substance may be anything which causes a long-term, that is the effect, or the short-term effect. That for the long term we call it the chronic effect, and for the short-term effect we call it the acute. So this is the basic definition, and we'll justify this definition at the end. Why the definition is important? The first thing, the question which comes in our mind, really, it is a problem? We all talk about the air pollution, from the politician to the scientist, and for the student to the farmers. They all talk about there is air pollution. So really it is a problem? If it is a problem, then who is responsible for this? And how to control it? So these are the three basic things we have to deal with. First, identify it is really, then responsibility, then control. So really it is a problem we can understand with some episodes, air pollution episode which is given in the next slide. So air pollution accident episode. So these are the important episodes because of an accident, because of the air pollution. So we also faced one episode in Bhopal. That was in 1984, release of methyl cyanide gas in Bhopal. And this was an accident, this was not an air pollution problem. But we have included in the air pollution problem because the mixed gas concentration that was increased beyond a certain limit in the outdoor atmosphere. Then we have included in this one. Because air pollution is maybe not because of the pollution of maybe the equipment, because of the accident also. So therefore, we see these in 1948 in US and 1952 in London, England. These were the two episodes. They are because of the atmospheric pollution. And there was a thousands of deaths in one night. So this pollution, air pollution, exists since the existence of the earth. But that time, the limit was the different. But now we are releasing all pollutants because of the technological development, because of the increase in the population, because of the need of the human being. We are emitting the pollutants in the outdoor atmosphere, increasing the normal concentration of these pollutants, these substances in the air. So it changes the natural composition of the air. That is desired. So air pollutant, basically air pollutants that comes from the two type of sources. That is from the moving sources or that is from the stationary sources. Like this, the pollutants can be described as the primary pollutant or the secondary pollutant. So primary pollutants here means those are directly released from the source. That may be the carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, hydrocarbons, particulate matter, and any other substances released from the industrial activities. So these are called the primary sources, the primary pollutants released from source itself. Secondary pollutants, these are formed due to the chemical reaction among two or more pollutants. Means once the primary pollutants are released in the outdoor atmosphere, they are reacting together and form a new pollutant. And the best example is with the formation of peroxide acyl nitrate, that is PN, that is also called the photochemical smoke. In the morning, in the winter season, where there is heavy traffic, we recognize a fog there. That is in the morning, white color we see when we go for the morning walk. But we see there is a white smoke, and we say, okay, this is a fog. But no, this is not a natural fog. This may be the smoke, and this may be the photochemical smoke. Because when hydrocarbons, ozone, nitrogen oxides, in presence of sunlight, they react together on this peroxide acid nitrate PN. It is very hazardous. And this reaction takes place in presence of sunlight. So here the chemistry is involved. So you understand how it is the interdisciplinary. So here chemistry is involved. And this is full chemistry. So these are the secondary portion. Then we describe the common air pollutants, which they are the oxides of sulfur, the particulate matter. Particulate means they are the suspended particles less than 100 microns. We call it the particulate matter in the air pollution terminology. We don't call it the particles, but we call it the particulate matter. And these will be described again, subdivided in two parts: total suspended particulate matter and RSPM, respirable suspended particulate matter. If the diameter of the particle is less than 10 micron, we call it the respirable suspended particulate matter. Means up to 10 micron particles, our human body is designed, is very good. A particular size of the particle is retained at a particular level. So more than 10 micron particles are retained at the nose level itself. And up to after 10 micron particles, they get into the respiratory system. So our respiratory system is divided in upper part, middle part, and lower part, the lungs. And where the diffusion is taking place, that is called the alveoli, where the diffusions are taking place. So less than 10 micron particle, so we call it the RSPM, and less than 2.5 micron, the new category has also come, that is called the fine particulate matter. FPM, fine particulate matter, less than 2.5 micron. That goes up to deep lungs, base up to lung, and up to alveoli system where the diffusion is taking place. Then carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, hydrocarbons, they will unburned hydrocarbons, ozone, lead, volatile organic compounds, toxic air pollution, biological contaminants. Carbon monoxide. This combines with the hemoglobin of the human. and form carboxyl hemoglobin. When they form the carboxyl hemoglobin, it means this the absorbance of the oxygen with the hemoglobin that is reduced. This hemoglobin decrease. The hemoglobin in the blood that is decreased. So it is a very dangerous gas. And the affinity of carbon monoxide with the hemoglobin in comparison of the oxygen is more than 200 times. So if a small amount of carbon monoxide is present in the atmosphere, our hemoglobin or in air first absorb carbon monoxide, then absorb oxygen, because affinity is more. So these are the basic common air pollutants. Sources, how we define the sources? So broad category of the source, that is natural source and man-made sources. So naturally, well, the air pollutants are released. They are from the volcanic eruption, the forest fire, dust storms, oceanic salt spray. And it is beyond the control of the human being. You can't control the volcanic eruption. We can't control the forest fire. We can control the dust storm. Even we can't predict these things. We can't control the oceanic salt spray. All the four sources, unpredictable, amount of pollutants released, unpredictable, again, means concentration, timings, everything is unpredictable. Only we can control, that is the pollution from the man-made sources. And this pollution from the natural sources that was existing since birth of the earth. And never we have controlled it. Nature has balanced it. Only the problem of air pollution that comes or we are facing today, that is not because of the nature, but it is because of the human activities. And that are when from the man-made sources. And it is because of the technological development and because of the population increase. These are the two main reasons. So these are the fuel combustion, and this is the largest contributor. Fuel combustion is the largest contributor for the air pollution. Chemical plant, transportation, power and heat generation, waste disposal, and various industrial processes. They all are emitting or releasing the various type of different pollutants in different form. It may be in the gaseous form, it may be in the particulate form, a particulate of the different sizes. They are releasing to the atmosphere. In fact, some of them have installed the control devices. Again, it's a research field. How to design the control devices. Includes mechanical engineering, includes the electrical engineering, includes the electronics engineering, everything. So these are the various tools. So STR relationship, this describes the whole environmental engineering, not only for the air pollution engineering, but whole environmental engineering that is described by the STR relationship, and it makes it interdisciplinary. So we can understand the interdisciplinary in the nature. S means source. T means transport. And R means receptor. One is source, other is medium, and third is the receptor. Whatever be the source, it's a natural source, so we are not describing the natural source as it exists and is beyond the control of the human being, or it automatically controlled by the nature. Okay. So we are here talking about the man-made pollution because of the man-made sources. So one is different sources, already discussed what are various different type of sources. When pollution emits from these sources, that is in the transport phase. The transport phase. This transport phase means that is in the medium, and medium is what? It is the air again. Therefore, this becomes the air pollution. If the medium is water, then it becomes a water pollution. If the medium is soil, then it becomes a soil pollution. And third one, the most important is the receptor. Who is the receptor? Who is receiving these things? Receptors may be your human being, receptor may be your plant life, receptor may be your animal life, receptor may be your property, receptor may be your anything. Or whole ecological system or atmosphere itself. Therefore, we are talking about the climate change. But here the receptor is atmosphere itself. So, effect of pollutants released from these sources, how it transported through the medium, and how it is affecting the receptor. Whole environmental engineering lies in these three words. Region, you can apply your engineering, your research at source, either because of the process change, fuel change, anything, or the reduction of the pollutants, different type of engineering, how it is going to the atmosphere, traveling, dilution, diffusion, dispersion. Again, that effect, the transportation or diffusion that affected by the wind speed, temperature of the profile of the atmosphere, reactions during the transportation, releasing from the source, and reactions during the transfer. It means formation of new pollutants, again other type of engineering. Then we come to the receptor, how it is affecting the receptor who is taking this. Human being, different type of, animal life, different type of, then plant life, different, ecological system, different, and property, different. Therefore, look, they are affecting the property. Property includes every non-living thing. Therefore, we are concerned about the damage of Taj. This is because of pollution, air pollution. So, receptor, again, suppose the receptor is human being. What is the age of the receptor? That affects children in another way, young person in another way, old person in another way. Again, this depends upon the sensitivity of a particular pollutant. So, at source, thus this is the transportation is the source. It is not sufficient for the study or the research or for to assess the effect or how it is taking dispersing in the atmosphere. It is not sufficient. We need the data. What are the pollutants that are emitting from the source? You have to research. What is the quantity of means concentration of these pollutants? What is the temperature of the pollutant? What is the pressure of the gas which is releasing? What temperature it is in the outdoor atmosphere? Or at what pressure it is? What is the velocity of exit? Because the next step, that is transportation, that depends upon temperature, pressure, velocity, and height or place of exit. At what place, at what height it is exit. So these things are minimum requirement from the source. Otherwise, the exact analysis, how it is transporting, how it is behaving in the atmosphere to the receptor, it is very impossible. So we have to know everything at source. So now the next step is the transportation. How it is the transporting. During the transportation, governing factor are what? The wind speed and wind direction. Why it is the complex? Because exact assessment, modeling is very difficult because every time wind speed and wind direction is changed. They are not constant. It remains constant. Not even throughout the day, not even. There is hourly variation, there is a daily variation, there is a seasonal variation in the wind speed and wind direction. That means the movement of the air. And we all know the earth is what? It is rotating and also spinning. So movement of the air is also changing. Therefore, weathers are climate and weather. This is because of the movement of the air at a global level. Next is temperature profile of the atmosphere. We all know as we go up, the temperature decreases. The temperature decreases. And that is called atmospheric lapse rate. This is called atmospheric lapse rate. But sometimes, instead of decreasing, it is increasing. As we go up, temperature is increasing, and that is called inversion condition. That is. So instead of decreasing the temperature, that is increasing. So this is called the inversion condition, and this is an atmospheric condition, and it is beyond control. And what are the various regions? This is another study, other type of science. So what are the various regions for a particular place that the inversion condition exists? And normally this type of condition exists in the winter. What is the humidity? Again, it is continuously changing. In the daytime, the humidity is different. At the morning, the humidity is different. And in the evening, the humidity is different. And at night, humidity is different. It is clear sunny sky. It is the cloudy sky. Beyond the control, still unknown, unpredictable, continuously changing. Reaction and transformation. That may be your physical reactions or physical transformation and the chemical. So I already told you that there is a physics involved, there is chemistry involved, atmospheric science involved. How the weather is changing, how the climate is changing, and what are the effects of everything on the dispersion. What is happening? Once it is released from the source, the pollutants has no boundaries for the dispersion. They disperse according to these factors. So concentration of any particular pollutant at a particular time. Today, suppose a particular concentration is released, and the same amount of concentration released next day, the same time. It is not necessary that after at a distance of X kilometer, the effect of that particular concentration is the same as that was earlier. Because these conditions are not same. Rainfall and deposition. How it is depositing. So all above factors governs the dispersion of air pollution in the atmosphere. So and if one factor is changing, whole scenario is changed. Wind speed is changed. In fact, it was the above limit, but there was a high wind velocity, maybe below limit. But from the source, the emitting concentration was the same. Only one factor we have changed, the wind speed, or the direction is changed, again it will change. So there is a lot of scope in doing the research in this field, especially in the air pollution. Factors that is human beings, whole ecology, that is trees, plants, crop, water, aquatic life, etc. Animals, building and property, atmospheric. So effect of air pollution on the above has to be assessed. Because in human being again, the toxicology depends on everything, all the receptors. The toxicology depends upon the concentration and type of pollutants. So one pollutant affects a particular human being, means actually suppose this is a young age in a different way, but it is a old age, it affects a different way. Means concentration limit is different from different persons. Similarly, how it is affecting our plant and crops. So study shows that because of the air pollution, include everything, all type of pollution, but they are damaging the plant. And consequently, the last or the final is they reduce the productivity. They hamper the growth of the plants. And last conclusion is what? They reduce the productivity and the growth of the plants. How it is affecting? That again depends upon the type of pollutant, their concentration, their exposure duration, everything. Without, so there is a scope. Ecological sciences comes in the picture. Biological science comes in the picture. Botany comes in the picture. Geology comes in the picture. Medical science comes in the picture. So therefore we call it the air pollution studies of the interdisciplinary nature, and there is a lot of scope. And but today itself, the research is not positive. Because particular pollutants can affect a particular things in many ways. Animals, again, more or less the effect are same as the human being, because all what we do, we carry all the experiment on animals. Building and property, different type of pollutants damage building and properties in different ways. Given the example of Taj. How, why we are worried about the Taj? Because they are damaging the beauty of Taj. The reason is concentration of gases, that are SOx and NOx. They are combined with atmospheric moisture, converted into the acid. What marble is what? Is the lime. Limestone. It's kind of limestone. The lime comes in the contact with the acid. What is happening? So this is the reason. Atmospheric itself is the receptor. Means the change of energy balance, change of composition of the air. Therefore, now we are worried about climatic change. Greenhouse effect. Increase of the temperature. This is the average increase of the earth temperature. What is the greenhouse? And it is because of what? The concentration of increase of the greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, hydrocarbons, methane. These are the type of the greenhouse gases. Or ozone layer degradation. This is what? This is because the atmosphere itself is the receptor. So damage on atmosphere. The purpose or objective or goal of this air pollution is we understand what is the purpose of this study. Why we are assessing these things? There is only one purpose. Safeguard the receptor. Safeguard the receptor. This is the only one purpose. Otherwise, from ill effects. What are the bad effects, or ill effects or bad effects? This is only one single purpose. Safeguard the receptor from the pollution. And it is applies for all type of pollution. Safeguard the receptor. It may be your water pollution, it may be your soil pollution, it may be your noise pollution. Only objective is this one. But now, how to safeguard? And your receptor, all receptor, not only the human being, all receptor. But how to safeguard means effects are insignificant or within the tolerable limit. I'm not talking about the zero pollution level, because it is impossible to achieve the zero pollution level. Okay. So what effects that may be insignificant or within the tolerable limit. Okay. So this is the objective or goal. Here, or the purpose to study things, to assess things, or to control things. This is the only reason. So here we can understand why definition is important. How to safeguard? Only thing is what? Concentration and time. the release of or presence of every any substance in the atmosphere for such concentration. The definition, what is given? For such concentration and for such duration. Therefore, the definition is important because that define the objective or justify the objective. Here, safeguard the receptor, insignificant. What concentration will be allowed in the atmosphere? That receptor is, there is no ill effect on the receptor. So limits are different, concentration are different for human being. That depends upon that receptor is specific. If receptor is human being, limit may be different. Receptor is animal, limit may be different. Receptor is suppose atmosphere itself, limits will be the different. So our focus is what? To control the pollution. It means reduce the pollutant concentration or minimize the concentration. And this is because of only by controlling. How to control? The first we have to set the air quality standards. What must be the air quality standards or air quality guidelines? Air standard and guidelines. What is the difference between these? Air quality standards are country specific. Suppose in India, the air quality standards are different. The particular industry can discharge these pollutants up to this concentration. But in US, the standard may be different. For Britain, the standard may be different. And these are the country specific. Country itself set the standards. Depending upon their climatic condition, depending upon their development, depending upon their geographical features, so they set their own standard. And even some country, if the big country, they set a standard for different regions. If in particular region, these are the standard for this region, but in India, we have only one standard that is given in the Environment Protection Act 1996, so call it the Umbrella Act. Yeah. So Water Act and the Air Act, both are involved in this one. The Protection Act, they have given all these standards, and they are countries, and this has the legal bindings because these are the part of Act. So anything that becomes the part of Act, that has the legal binding. So here again, how to interpret these, how to follow it, law comes in the picture. Guidelines. So the guidelines are given by any agency. It may be your WHO, it may be United Nations department, anything. Based upon the research work, if these are the standard in the exposure duration, is this one concentration is, these may be the ill effect, these may be ill effect. Okay. So depending upon, they give their guidelines, and guidelines are not binding. They have issued the guideline, you follow it, you don't follow it, that depends upon you. They are not binding. But now there are international treaties that if some agency like WHO or UNEP, they give some guidelines, every government try to follow it, because again, what? This is for what? This is for the control of the pollution. Control of pollution and minimum effect on receptor. Because suppose a country has no research facility, from where they will go? They will take the dust. They will take the guidelines. Okay. These are the ill effects on human being. These are the ill effect on this. These are the ill effect on the plant life. These are the ill effect on the climate atmosphere of this particular region. So you follow these because these are effects. So therefore, our focus is on concentration and time. What should be the concentration? What should be the time? These two things. When we control device, design the control equipment, the reduction. So control, it may be a process control, it may be a change of the process, change of the fuel, change of the material. So challenges is what we have because everything, most of the things are not predictable. Same depends upon the nature. So these are the challenges in the air pollution study. Air pollution is a complex problem. You have understood this is a complex problem. The physics is involved, the chemistry is involved, mechanical engineering is involved, atmospheric science is involved, biological science is involved, medical science is involved. This is a very complex. So you can't fix a particular concentration. This is the absolute concentration you release in the atmosphere, and this will not have any adverse effect on any receptor. This statement we made in the air pollution. Okay. Toxicology, again, what is the chemical composition of that pollutant? And what is the concentration of this pollutant? It is a three-dimensional problem. What is a three-dimensional problem? When it is released from a source, so there is no horizontal movement, there is a vertical movement, there is a side movement, means air pollutant can disperse in all the three directions. It may go horizontally, it may go in vertical, it may be in the downward direction, it may be in the crosswind direction. Not like in the water. What is happening if there is a suppose some sewage or dust water is added in a river? What is happening? How it is dispersing? It is dispersing only in the downward direction. Number one, in flow, one direction, or there are chances to get also in the settle down. So in downward direction also. So X and Y. So it may be referred as a one-dimensional or more, you can say the two-dimensional problem. No third-dimensional problem. It can't go in the upward movement because you know the flow is in the this side, but this is not happening in the air pollution. Presently, the air direction is in this one, but after a few minutes, the air direction may change, or suddenly there is a rain, there is a storm, or there is a sandstorm. In Rajasthan, it is a frequent. You can access any time, so that increases the concentration. So it is a three-dimensional. So therefore, we call it is a three-dimensional complex problem. Effects are acute and chronic. If the concentration is very high, it is an immediate effect. Instantaneous effect, that is called instantaneous effect, that is acute effect. And long-term effect, that is called the chronic effect. Like Bhopal in 1984, what happened? It was the acute. Because concentration was so high, exposure duration was less. But the concentration is so high that they had damaged the face. Solution is delayed. Right? This challenge in the study. Solution is delayed. The solution is delayed means here. Suppose there is a pollution in water. There is a source of water supply. This is the example for the better understanding. And some contaminants or someone has put something in the water supply. You can stop the water supply immediately. Like me, just warning that don't use this water that has been supplied in the morning because that contains some bacteria, everything, or this thing, or for some pollutant, and you stop the using this particular water. But in air, this is not the case. If it is polluted, you have to breathe that particular air. There is no other alternative available. Stop the breathing. Can you stop? If contaminants are present in the atmosphere or in the air, you have to bear with this contaminant. You have to inhale. There is no second option. And number one. Number two, you can't put all the air in the control device, that putting this particular air in the control device and the fresh air is coming out and you breathe that particular air. This is also not possible. In the water, in the soil, it is possible. You send the water again to the treatment plant for the removal of these contaminants or pollutants, but in air it is not possible. Therefore, the solution is delayed. What is the solution? It is delayed. It is the long-term solution we can go. If it is polluted, it is polluted. There is no means of removing the pollutants from the atmosphere. You have to be there. And this happened in Bhopal, or place where the air pollution episode or study or accident has took place. This was the reason. This was the death. Otherwise, if it was possible that no, I can stop the breathing this particular air, taking this particular air. Okay, polluted. Okay, I take the other air. There is no chance. And you can't carry the cylinder everywhere. That this is my cylinder for the fresh air and taking them out and going. Like the water bottle, we carry the water bottle for the fresh air for the drinking purpose. You can't do this the air. You can't carry the cylinders. Therefore, we call the solution is delayed. But it is happened now. The solution that will be in the future. This is not the immediate solution is available in the case of the air pollution. Some effects are not reparable. Effects, maybe small effect is negligible. Some part is damaged, suppose. But the pollutants we breathe, they go in the lungs, deep lungs, get into the blood. If something is damaged, suppose deep lung is damaged because of any pollutants, there will be in some cases. Suppose because of the pollutants that is deposited in the lungs, and because of this, there is cancer. What is it? Lung cancer. Or alveoli at the lower respirable system. What is it? It is repairable? Definitely. There is no means to repair some damages. So these are the challenges in this system. Therefore, the air quality studies, they have to challenge it. You can't stop it. Once solution is delayed, the dimension or effects are acute and chronic continuously. I give one example. A traffic policeman, which is standing and regulating the traffic of the city. Why he is regulating the traffic of the city? Why? To prevent the accident. If a particular person himself or all those that are driving the vehicles follow the rules, is the need of the traffic policeman? Definitely no. There is no need of the traffic policeman. But traffic policeman is there because we are not following the rules. And the particular person who is standing there at the traffic junction, have you thought how much air pollutant he is inhaling? We are giving the slow poison to him. And who is responsible for giving the slow poison? We. We are responsible for giving the slow poison to him. We have carried out one study. The particular person, a policeman who is standing in the Nai Sadak Chora, you all belong to the Jodhpur? Or any city, you belong to any city. But Jodhpur. I'm giving the example of the Jodhpur. We have carried out the research here with the medical college. That a particular person who is standing in Jodhpur intersection, Nai Sadak place, or Sosti Gate, after 3 years of service there, his lung capacity was decreased by 20%. Lung capacity decreased by 20%. And after retirement, at the age of 60 years, when he goes after retirement, he goes with the number of respiratory diseases. Number of, including cancer. Who is responsible for this? We thus are the responsible. If we follow the rules and regulations of the traffic, there is no need of policeman at the junction. There is no need. And he is standing there to save our life, to regulate the traffic, to save our life. We have never thought of this. The person who is standing there is saving our life, but we are giving him a slow poison. For our benefit, he is there, but we are giving the slow poison to him. Now we have to think, what type of society we want to build up in the India. Or I have visited the number of countries. I have never seen there is a traffic policeman who is standing on the intersection of the and regulating the traffic. Automatically, people are following the rules. But in India, this is a condition. Controls or remediation. Control and remediation, that is only possible at source. Only possible at source. Not possible through medium or during transport. Already explained the thing. When it is released in the atmosphere or goes into the atmosphere, it is not possible to control it or leave it. Only possible is at source. At receptor, it is very difficult. It is possible. At control is possible at receptor. You can have the filters and mouthpiece and gas cylinders, but it is very difficult. I already explained that how you can't take the cylinders everywhere, the oxygen cylinder or the fresh air cylinder. But we are giving it is very difficult at receptor end. It is just impossible at the transport region, but it is possible only at source. And which source? The man-made source, not the natural source. Only man-made. Effect. So our aim is what? Reduce the ill effect to the and more, nowadays we are more concerned about effects on. Already explained that the plant ultimately what is the reduction in the production or growth of the plant. Animals, we don't care the animals now in India. When we are driving, all comes in. Then property, already explained. What is the common effects on the human beings that caused by the air pollutants are reduced lung functioning, means increased respiratory diseases. Lung functioning means, yeah, include respiratory disease. Some have the asthma. Suppose a particular person is asthmatic, and that is genetic, and a person is non-asthmatic. If both are moving in a particular concentration of that pollutant, the effect may be different for the particular who is asthmatic, and effect is a particular the different for who is it non-asthmatic. It is a complex problem. Concentration is same, exposure duration is same, both are going in the same concentration, both are of the same age. Only the thing is, one has the genetic asthmatic problem, one is not having, but effect is. So concentration again, that depends. And we can't fix the guidelines or standards by considering these cases. You can't fix the standard. For whom you are fixing the standard? So we are fixing a normal standards for normal person, normal human being. So looking to we also feel if we go the irritation on the skin, eyes. This is what because of the presence of pollutants like SOx and NOx. SOx converts into this sulfuric acids, NOx converts into the nitric acids. When acid comes in contact with the skin or eyes, and if the concentration is so high, sometimes more acute effect. So the first one is more dangerous. Therefore, I put in the first, that's lung function. Because we breathe the air through the respiratory system. Again, there is a consequences. Either it is damaging your top level, upper level of the respiratory system, it is damaging the middle level of the respiratory system, it is damaging the lower level of the respiratory system. This depends upon type of gases, type of particles, particulate matter, dia of the particulate and chemical composition. Suppose the dia is the same, but the chemical composition is different. Okay? The effects are different. We have carried out research in the field. Suppose there is an organic matter. Once a sand particle is going and depositing a particular place in the lungs, and one organic matter that is going. Which one is the more dangerous? Organic matter is more dangerous. The same size of the particle. The reason is because the decomposition of the organic matter starts there. Growth of the bacteria starts there. So this is true. One is because of the deposition, other is because of the decomposition of the organic matter. So what is the chemical composition of the particulate matter? What is the chemical composition of the gases? So this defines the toxicology. Along with the concentration and exposure time. So important thing is the concentration, exposure time, exposure duration, and type of pollutants is chemical composition. Asthma attacks, we all know, already discussed this. Neurobehavioral disorder. Neurobehavioral disorder, sometimes some pollutants they get into the blood, through the respiratory system, and they affect the nervous system. So they changes the behavior. That is called the neurobehavioral disorder. Cardiovascular problem. It includes the blood pressure, pulse rate, heart rate. So there is a heart rate variability, there is a pulse rate variability, oxygen content in the blood. Ultimately, they all increase the blood pressure. If your lungs is damaged, this first one, reduce the lung capacity. What is that? Means the oxygen that is required for the blood for the normal functioning, that is not present. What will happen? If sufficient oxygen is not available to the blood, what is that? There will be the two. One is either speed of the blood, that will increase, or your respiration rate will increase. We also feel this. And there is a limit of the rate, respiration rate. And beyond this, we can't do. So there is a shortage of oxygen. And when there is a shortage of oxygen, neurobehavioral disorder may occur. because if there is a shortage of oxygen in the blood, this may happen. This increase the blood pressure. So continuously it is. So it means reduction was in the lung capacity, but the effect is on the blood pressure, cardiovascular. Again, we have one project, the government of India with the SMS Medical College, IIT Jaipur and IIT Jaipur. Sorry, IIT Delhi. We did it. So what happened? The blood pressure is changed. That is only because of the change in the lung function. We have not considered the carbon monoxide concentration there. The reduction of the blood oxygen blood is because of the presence of the carbon monoxide. We have only because of the decrease in the lung capacity. It is continuously changing the blood pressure. So the blood pressure is increasing. If the blood pressure is increasing, what is happening? Again, there is a number of diseases because of this. Number of diseases, hypertension, this. What was the reason? Reason was air pollution. So it giving number of diseases, starting from respiratory diseases to the neuro diseases to the cardiovascular diseases. So therefore, it's a complex problem and interdisciplinary problem. So there is a neurophysician is required, physician is required, chest doctor is required. So in medical science also, number of disciplines are involved. Premature deaths. This is again. Study shows that premature deaths is also because of the various type of air pollutants. Lead was one. Therefore, in the gasoline, petrol, but there is no lead is bad. Cancer. Disruption of reproductive and immune system. Change the reproductive system and immune system also. These are the consequences. Ultimate effects. Starts with the reduction of lung capacity, decrease in the lung capacity, goes into the blood, changes the functioning of the cardiovascular system, affect the neurosystem, changes when it's come in the blood. It means they change the genes characteristics. So genetic engineering also comes into the picture. So these are the, so you can do any research in the air pollution by considering any points. Either you are this process of one project. Anyway, the professor of mechanical engineering with us from IIT Kanpur, professor of civil engineering from Jaipur, professor of chemical engineering from IIT Delhi, and self also. Developing the sensor, focus upon the electronics engineering. Electronics, development of the biosensors in the field of environmental engineering. Some development of control device. Who will develop the control device? Today, computerized control device that is you develop. Computer science engineer, electronics engineer, electrical. Suppose there is a process chain, who will develop the process chain? Definitely the mechanical engineers, or chemical engineers, or material science engineers. Develop the material. Effect assessment, environmental scientists. Once they come together, then we can go for a solution. Then what is the solution? So air we breathe that must be free from pollutants and is our right. That's a famous quotation. Air we breathe. They must be from the pollutants. Why it must be free from the pollutants? These were the adverse effect on the human beings or maybe the plant life. But I don't agree with this sentence, air we breathe. This is the automatic process and this is the natural process. Try to breathe the air or try to stop the breathing. Are you breathing? Definitely no. It is a continuous process. It is a natural process. Automatically air goes inside and coming outside. Try to stop it. What is happening? So it is automatic natural process. Air we breathing. We are not. If it is in the hand of human being, we forget. Sometimes we are so much busy that we forget the breathing of the. Oh, we have to breathe the air also. So it's a natural process. So air which is going and coming in the human body, or in the, either in the animals also, that must be free from pollutants. And this has the adverse effect, not acute effect, which is the chronic effect. It may be in the form of the slow poison. So what are the things? To control or reduce. It may be because of then the process modification, fuel changing, control equipment design, development of green belt, city planning, use of personal protective equipment at receptor end. So that receptor end only use of personal protective equipment. It is very difficult. You can realize that you have the mask and oxygen cylinder and you are working there. When this is empty cylinder, again go and fill up the with the fresh air. So it is very difficult. Okay. City planning, planner. So all the, if you see all these control device, control means or reduction means, because basic aim is what, reduce the pollutant at a particular level that do not have effects, or effect is minimized or within the limit, tolerable limit. That shows that this a pollution problem is interdisciplinary in nature and is a complex in nature, and what challenges that is challenging. Because it's the 3 dimensions, control, various disciplines are involved, everything.